Welcome back to another SHIDO update. Guys, today I have something very special to share with you guys. We got a project that is building on SHIDO, an AI project that is trying to change the way we trade. And of course, we're going to get into a bit of detail here. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. And the question is, what kind of opportunities is SHIDO bringing us? At the end of the day, we know that the SHIDO community is building. The SHIDO community has been cooking, and today I want to share with you guys a very interesting project. Given the fact that I know a lot of us listening right now are traders, are looking for opportunities to be buying and selling throughout the market, and we're looking for tools to gain that edge, tools to help us navigate this space with safety, with clarity, and with that support that is necessary for a daily trader. At the end of the day, guys, we know that we are looking for projects that are being built on strong ecosystems. SHIDO, guys, let me do a quick before we get into KUZINO. Guys, KUZINO AI, a dashboard. We're going to talk about that very soon. But before we get into that, I want to focus on what SHIDO is first. For those of you that are getting introduced to what SHIDO is, it's an L1. It's an L1 that is right now looking for all kinds of opportunities to shape the space, particularly focusing on DeFi. And that's one of the things that interests me the most is, as you guys know, the DeFi narrative within any L1, within any ecosystem, has to be strong. So I'm glad to see that SHIDO is putting that effort within the DeFi ecosystem. And then as we keep on going down, you can see that there's some great statistics here. We got speed, scalability, transactions, staked SHIDO, lots of staked SHIDO, growing ecosystems with lots of applications. And of course, today I'm going to be talking about one application that I'm particularly focusing on in the next little. As a trader myself, this tool that I'm going to be talking about here today is very interesting, and I believe that it's going to be one of the things, or one of the options and tools that we are going to see in the next little while throughout the space, is to see AI getting integrated within our trading strategy. So very interesting stuff, so hang in there, guys. So growing ecosystem, SHIDO scanned, the scanner for you to be able to explore, unlocking unified liquidity through chain abstraction. Lots of good stuff here. Cross-chain DeFi ecosystem. This is what interests me. They got their wallet. They got obviously the SHIDO DEX that is hot right now. Definitely lots of upgrades and lots of work that they've been putting in. The team has been cooking within the DEX narrative, within their own ecosystem, and so on and so forth. Guys, go check them out. I got deep dives on SHIDO. I got updates, frequent updates on SHIDO. And full disclosure, guys, these updates and this video right here is a sponsored video by the SHIDO community. So obviously, guys, we got to do our due diligence. We got to be able to do that deep dive research. We got to really know that this space is quite volatile, but we need to be putting our chips on projects that are cooking, that are showing that strength within their ecosystem and supported by the team. Now, ultimately, guys, we know that L1s, for the most part, focus on third-party development teams, third-party developers to come and build on their L1. Now, there are some instances, like SHIDO, where you see the in-house team, the actual developers of the L1 building native applications on the L1, which for me and for most of us, what we should be thinking is maximum compatibility. That is what we should be thinking about. And when you see teams that are small, that are, small but mighty and powerful, you start to think, okay, these teams are not only supporting their L1 and their infrastructure, but also building their ecosystem and encouraging utility for their coin, of course, the SHIDO coin, and more utility, more value, more reason to hold, more reason to stake, and so on and so forth. So check it out, guys. SHIDO, great project, great L1. And now for the project itself for today. As you guys know, I'm looking for utility, right? Ecosystem should have utility, because if there's utility, there's a reason to hold. Now, I just want to introduce to you KUZINO AI. Let's lay out the framework. This is an open beta version of KUZINO AI. Guys, I was introduced to this project about a couple weeks ago. I finally got around to digging a little deeper into this. And as I was digging deep, I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't dig that deep. Maybe this should be a little bit of a reaction review. Let me go through it, live here, trying to figure out what it is and what it does. And at the same time, kind of spell out exactly what it is and try to navigate on how we could be using this as a tool. Because I believe that the future is where AI is definitely integrated and permeated throughout not only our daily life, but more importantly, our daily tasks. Specific AI models, agents, tools and frameworks that are going to help us basically complete tasks effectively and efficiently. So, again, for the most part, all of us that are listening here right now are most likely traders, and traders are looking for tools to gain that edge. And then the question is, what kind of edge does KUZINO give us? KUZINO at the moment is a multi-asset AI and analysis and prediction platform, which it should be interesting for us, right? We know how powerful AI is, guys. You know those tools out there. You could quickly with a few lines, with a few sentences, right? All of a sudden you get some great outputs, crazy outputs. And KUZINO could be one of those things, the same with that same power, but for traders. Okay, so first things first, you need to log in. You need to sign up and create a login, and it's quite easy. So I do have that already for myself. So what I'm gonna do is log in. You see that there's a couple of statements here. Analyze multiple assets in real time. So they have been adding more assets or more trading pairs to analyze, cross asset correlation insights, portfolio wide risk management, and seamless switch markets. Okay, so we'll definitely log in here. Okay, let me quickly do that. I got my username. You could read all the disclaimers and all the little things. The most important thing right now for me is that a lot of what is being done here still is heavily under development. Right, so you have to understand that some of the features we might be, hit a little bit of roadblocks as we're going along with this. Maybe log off or log in, because the development team is cranking out new updates and new implementations. But consider yourself lucky being able to be here at the ground level of such technology. Again, AI is where it's at right now. A lot of focus on AI in the last little while, especially this week. Okay, so initiate connection. Let's see if we can get connected nice and smoothly here. Welcome to KUZINO AI. How would you like to begin? So the reality is that there's a starting guide mode. I'm not really going to do that, right? Feel free to go through all of that. There's also an interactive tour that you can go through. And again, they're trying to make it very easy, seamless experience for people to get on board and have that, positive first experience. So let's go to advanced dashboard so we can kind of see. I think I'm advanced enough. So right here you can see again a disclosure: heavy development features and data are subject to change and may be unusable at any given point. Again, we're here early, guys, ground level, in the trenches. In the trenches right now. We're not like, polished and ready to go. This is where you start speculating. This is speculation mode, okay? So you can see right here we have a platform with a few numbers. Now, right away, we have these tabs. Let's just be clear about these tabs. These are features. These are tools. These are tailored tools for particular purposes. Here we got our trading pair or our asset selector. Let's call it that. We got SHIDO, Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Litecoin, and Solana. They are adding many more to come. So again, we can use Bitcoin so that we keep everything very standard. Let's put it that way. We choose Bitcoin. And all of a sudden you say, okay, what are all these tabs? Let's do one tab at a time. Overview. Right here we have our AI final synthesized data. Let's generate a AI signal. Let's see what happens here. I find this fascinating because, sometimes we just need a second opinion. And a lot of times, yeah, we knock on the door of our friends, we, DM our friends and or our communities and so on. But at will, you can just click that and you can see that this AI model will give you a bit of a summary. Bitcoin USDT is currently in a strong consolidation. No doubt, guys. We've been in a consolidation since July. So it definitely on point here. I also want to, just highlight that there's risk management here as well, and the overall confidence level of this summary, right? So what should we be doing? Maybe holding, given that it's saying that cautious, but holding. Nothing really, you shouldn't be reacting in any real clear direction because the market is not giving us directional volatility, right? It is low volatility, it's in a consolidation, and it is neutral ranging macro trend. Guys, this is interesting. So it's almost like giving you a level of confluence. It's not going to be the end all be all of trading signals here, right? Because obviously a proper signal integrates not only your own TA, your own skill level, which, here on the channel, we talk about that all the time, how to, zone in on your skills and on your own analysis and your TA, but having this as an assistant, an AI assistant, that this dashboard is here to help you out, maybe give you that extra bullish and bearish thesis that we talk about every day. Guys, this is where it's at. This is what you need. You can see slightly positive sentiment on the 5-minute, 15-minute, and 30-minute time zones. Interesting. Overall, low risk level across timeframes, given the lack of volatility. That's usually the case. It's low risk because of that, indicating reduced immediate downside pressure. Presence of there's some signals. This is where you gotta have to understand, candlestick structures and so on. But there are 6 occurrences of inside patterns which can basically precede breakouts. And this is something, again, that the market in general has been very keen about, is that when you see massive consolidations like we've been at any moment, guys, the calm before the storm. So definitely right now it is in correlation or in consensus with my overall thesis. So I'm appreciating right now what KUZINO's telling me. Bearish factors backed by synthesized signal indicates consolidation and neutral ranging direction with low confidence. That's the overall sentiment in the market. Overall market trend is neutral ranging, locking clear upward momentum. So a bit of a hesitation and a breather here is giving us an opportunity to basically rethink our bullish thesis. And the longer it stays here, a lot of us get into our own heads and we start to lose our edge or our bullish momentum as we're stagnant. So that's definitely adding to the bearish factor. Prevalence in the indecisiveness, guys. There's lots of indecision. Even the monthly candle close showed us a bit of indecision until we got that volatility right on the last day there. Market regime identified as ranging. Okay, so low volatility, very similar. And that makes sense that both the bullish and bearish thesis right now are very similar, given the fact that we're very neutral. This is a very neutral state in the market. It seems bearish sentiment wise, but for the bull factor is the reality is that the market is still in a bullish trend, bullish trend still there. So pretty cool, right? Like obviously this is just scraping the surface, guys. Hold on, stay with me here. You'll see what this thing has to offer. Buy sell ratio, aggregated volatility, primary risk level. You got all kinds of different alerts that you can apply. System is healthy, okay. And then again, the asset command center, guys. This looks like like a futuristic dashboard here. And the good news is that you can actually change some of the dashboard features by going to your about or your this is your notifications, if you see that. And if you go into here, you can see that there's different features. But if you go to the settings, you'll have your profile settings and so on, full profile settings, and lots of different things, guided, view, theme. You can change your theme. I'm not going to do that because it's going to go really bright and all of that, but you can see that there's different professional matrix green, like you're in the matrix. Guys, pretty cool. Lots of effort. Effects quality low. You can make it a little bit more high-end effects and all that from a graphical perspective, but for performance purposes, we'll keep it low. That's all we really need right now. So overall, it's great stuff, right? Great stuff. Basic at this level. But guys, hold on. Now there's an AI strategy blueprint. So craft conceptual trading strategies for Bitcoin, BTC. Input your preferences and let your AI enhance the backend model. So let's see what happens here. So you can see that you can, do different things here about building a strategy, generating a strategy blueprint. Guys, the only way to really know how this works or how it outputs proper synthesized data here is for you to actually play around with it, right? So as a first impression, a risk appetite, Trading horizon, what kind of trader are you? Are you a scalper, intraday swing, or position, right? So as a swing trader myself that follows momentum and gets into swing trades based on momentum, I like that one, so we'll keep it there. My risk appetite, we'll keep it medium. Let's make it medium. Trading style, aggressive trend flow. Let's see what else they got here. We got mean reversion, breakout trading, scalping, momentum, adaptive momentum trader. That's in line with me. And preferred indicators. Obviously, there are a few here. You can choose the one that you. Let's use the RSI. Why not? One of the common ones out there. And that's about it. You can see that there's predefined or pre-built templates. If you click any one of these, it will fill it in based on this predefined, let's say, template or characteristics, right? And then you can generate a blueprint and it'll come up with some cool AI stuff. Guys, just keep in mind that this is just the first tab. This video might go longer than expected. I'm going to do my best here, guys, to flow through this as fast as possible. But there's so much alpha here. Look at this, guys. Look, and by the way, I maybe I didn't mention this. This is free right now. Okay, this is free. You can go and use it and play around with it and see what it got for you, right? And test it and provide feedback. And there's lots of good. There's even a chat function built in, guys. There's so much to talk about this thing. It's quite impressive. Risk management, look, AI confidence score, guys. I'm not gonna read this to you. Check it out. Just check it out. Go see. Look at the indicators: Bollinger Bands, ADX, RSI, rationale, conceptual take profit, conceptual stop loss. Everything ready to go. And guys, we just scratched the surface. This is just the first tab. As I was mentioning about the chat functionality, you can open this chat feature and you can speak to different individuals. I just mentioned a little bit of a comment here, and you can see that there's people already using it, which is great. Before I move on, I think it's very valid for me to say one more thing, because there's something that I should have maybe said earlier, which is the ability to speak to the AI as you're, navigating this whole dashboard. It's an intense dashboard with many tabs, but I just wanted you to see this right here. You can ask about the market, request an analysis, or get any insight. Right here, you can say, "How's Bitcoin doing?" You know, uh, question mark, and you'll get some sort of AI response, which is quite interesting. Now, that for us, AI, we have our typical tools, but you can see, look, Bitcoin is currently consolidating with a neutral ranging, and this is just a basic prompt that I just put in. Obviously, guys, go check it out. Ask it things, see what it tells you. And you'll see that it will give you, look at this, score of 21, cross time frame insights confirms the overall neutral trend, blah, 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 blah. Doji insight suggests that the market indecision. Guys, lots happening here. You can ask it on many different factors. Now, as we go through these tabs, and right now I'm on the where am I right now on this tabs? Let's see. I'm on the overview. Let's go over to analysis. Okay. Now, this gets a little bit more magical. That was pretty cool, you got to admit. Now, this is a little bit more magical. You can see the first and foremost important thing that you really want to notice is that there's a brain right here. Ask AI about price chart analysis. If you click that, it will interpret the data here right on the screen and give you an analysis straight away. Another thing that you may want to focus on is the fact that you have different tabs also up here, okay? So you have price dynamics, trading view chart, indicator matrix. This is savagery. Okay, there's lots of stuff here, guys. Order book liquidity insights, trading flow analysis, pattern recognition, cross time frame aggregation. I just want to make it also clear, again, just to repeat, a lot of these features, okay, are constantly being worked on. However, I would say a good majority of them are currently in working order. Okay, I would say over 95% right now are working. Okay, so just keep that in mind. More importantly, okay, based on this tab right here, is you got your time frame: 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Let's do the 1 hour. Okay, let's just change it up so we can see how it reflects and how it changes. You look at the chart. All of a sudden, you have indicators. You can see right here, sell pressure. Was that correct? VWAP resistance, bang, straight to the downside. Green arrow, a VWAP support, bang to the upside, bang to the upside. Guys, we have arrows to the downside here on 1 hour. Should we be afraid? I don't know, guys. Again, for confluence purposes, this tool right now, based on the data that we see right here, has been pretty good. So it is what it is, guys. Do your due diligence, back test it, do your thing. Now, before we go on to the other tabs, because again, we got tabs and tabs and tabs of tool work here, let's quickly kick the brain. Let's generate an analysis. And again, AI completely integrated within this tool. Savagery, good stuff here. Respect to the the developer that created this, KUZO, uh, very talented individual. Bitcoin is currently experiencing a period of indecision with more detail, as you can see, providing numerical levels, actual levels of prices and targets and so on. This is where it's at, guys. You can see that, and you can update the prompt and make it your own and make it do your own thing. So very useful stuff here. Now, this is the chart, again, different time frames, and then you got also the trading view chart ready to be available here, as you can see, if you want to get into that traditional view that we usually are accustomed to on the Bitcoin chart or any of these trading pairs. Now, what I like the best, guys, hold on to your seats. Look at this. You got an indicator matrix. Guys, all the most common indicators, RSI, MACD, Bollinger Bands, we got it. Stochastics, ADX, Utah, ATR. You got a lot. Look at this, guys. Everything is here. Now, I understand that maybe this is not a very detail-orientated chart in summary, but the detail is when you click this brain. Visualize a comprehensive matrix of key technical indicators such as, okay, focus mode for a detailed interactive view. Focus mode. Okay, this is important. Now, the focus mode, I don't know exactly where it is at the current moment. Again, it's all in development, but I'm interested to see focus mode. And the focus mode, I believe, is here. Focus mode for a detail. Yes, so you click it and you get focus mode. As you can see, you get more detail. Guys, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. And now I'm going to just quickly go back. I believe that we just click X. Bang. And remember, I'm doing this live. I've never really played with this. I just did a quick look to see how it is, and I'm like, I think that a real interactive review where I'm literally doing it as I'm going would be very useful, guys. So you get basically on the focus mode by just clicking RSI, click, boom, right here. Great stuff. Okay, now the magic. Because you're probably gonna say, "Oh, I got this already, right? I got this already on my charts." Yeah, but you don't got this. Let's click generate analysis. Again on Bitcoin, guys. Unfortunately, I left it on the 5 minute time frame. I would love to put that on the 1 hour so we can be consistent throughout the video. But you get my point. It is what it is. Look how this generates a overall analysis using all of those indicators, guys. MACDs, you can see it all here. I'm not going to read it all to you. RSIs, all of it is all here. Ambiguity, trend, this, and I see keywords here. Strong directional signals are not definitely present. So it is what it is. Okay, so as you can see, guys, one-stop shop for all your indicators in a very general, broad view, but you click, stochastic, detail. Guys, what better than this? Amazing. And then you got the AI tool to summarize and wrap up the idea. And as I mentioned before, you put it to the 1 hour and you can see exactly what it is, and you can generate another AI output that gives you a summary of what it sees here based on all these indicators. Perfect. So again, it looks for the edge. It looks for the edge looking at oscillators. Here you have market structure or chart structure edge. Here you have your indicator edge. Two big parts of a trading strategy: the chart, market structure, supply and demand, and then all of a sudden your oscillators, where you're going to get your edge to support the market structure. Guys, it is what it is. This is great. Let's see if there's anything else. That's about it. I'm assuming that maybe they'll have a couple of more here, maybe at one day, but they're still cooking it up, guys. This thing's still in the works. I'm seeing some big things coming out soon here. So we have the order book and liquidity insight. So if you want to look at order flow, order book and liquidity, order book overview, you can see you got different details here: bids, ask volume, and you can see it all here: order depth, and so on and so forth. Again, here's the large order flow of all the different orders. If you're into order flow analysis, it's got you covered here. Trade flow, different trades, live trade feeds. statistics, all kinds of different time frames. Again, lots of detail here with regards to that, and you can ask questions with regards to what you see on the screen. Again, to the AI, ask about the market, requests on analysis, and so on. So again, more detail, and lots of different things. Average price for the VWAP, trade velocity, perfect stuff. And then pattern recognition. I find this interesting because I'm not a pattern trader, no doubt, but I know a lot of people like to look at different patterns, right? So you can see again time frame. I want to stick to the 1 hour so we can try to make this consistent throughout the review here. You can see that 7% is bearish. We got 89% of the market neutral within the 1 hour time frame, and the bullish is only 4%. So right now we're fairly neutral with a tad bit, of bearishness and a tad bit of bullishness, but the majority of the market right now is calm. It's calm before the storm, right? That is the thing, right? So you have the key support and resistance levels. As you can see, VWAP that we talked about already, support and resistance that has been tracked, buy walls, sell walls, for the order blocks and all of that, if you're into that. And then you have your complex formations, descending channels on the 1 hour is there, and you can see the strength. The score of that channel is right now 0.7 out of 1.5. So definitely statistical analysis being played, and you can click the details to get a little bit more of that. As you can see, the slope of the trend, guys. There's a lot. Even these are the short. The actual details about the channels all here. I find that to be great. Timestamp, all of that, raw name, descending channel, perfect stuff here, guys. So there's usually more. Like you can get more different indicators. Like here, neutral, you got top influential patterns. You got your dojis and your short lines and your inside bars and everything kind of giving you that kind of detail. And I believe that this allows you to export, share synthesis. What does that mean? Be careful. You can share it right on X. Interesting. KUZINO AI. You know what? Directional. Let's post this. Let's do it. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what's going on there. That's pretty cool. Okay, so good stuff there. That's actually very, very useful. I like that. And once again, pushing the brain, generated analysis, and it's going to give you some great information. Note that we're only 2 tabs in here on this tool. Only 2. Okay, so again, descending channel on Bitcoin on the 1 hour, suggesting a prevailing bearish sentiment. Remember, it's the weekend, guys. I'm covering this on a Saturday, so the volume is thin. So we're just gonna take it within the context that it is, and it is the 1 hour time frame. So anything can happen still. It's a lower time frame type of analysis, which is cool. Anyways, but good stuff here. Okay, so that's that, and one more tab within this tab. There's tabs within tabs here, guys, which is right here. We have a cross time frame aggregation, and again, more data, and there's a lot of information here. Sentiment as risk matrix, 1 hour low, 4 hour low. Every time frame right now is very low risk, very neutral, ranging price action, and aggregated volatility is very, very low because we're in a tight range doing a very low volume moves. So it is what it is. So okay, so pretty good deep market analysis. I apologize if you think I'm going through this too quickly, but I highly recommend that you sign up and play with it, guys. Go check it out. It's free. You're not asking for anything. Just actually, what would be very useful is to give feedback. Feedback is always great for the development team to how to improve and make the tool even better. AI core, you can see that there's a lot of different things here too, the bullish convictions and so on. Prediction summary, generate a summary, as you can see, and this is the 5 minute again. Sorry, guys, I apologize. Would be pretty cool to change the time frame across all of the different tabs so that you don't have to keep on doing it. If you're a 1 hour trader, it always stays on the 1 hour until changed across the platform. KUZINO AI's analysis on Bitcoin 5 minute time frame indicates high uncertainty market outlook. So maybe a bit of repetition, so you see a lot of confluence across different type of the different tools here. AI model performance matrix, and you can see that there is different data here about the AI models, and it is what it is. I wonder what happens if we do change it to the 1 hour. See and then again, you can ask AI model about performance summary. There's a lot of different AI. Click it, run it based on the latest metrics. How is the model performing for the time frame? Are there any signs of degradation? Cool stuff, because if you want to see if the AI model is actually doing their thing, you got a prompt to actually check out, almost like a back test, which is cool. Now, for those of you that are trading news and stuff and sentiment, because lately you got to admit, guys, price action has been tough. So for the most part, a lot of us are keeping track of sentiment. And the sentiment goes from bearish to bullish on a daily basis. The news has been quite bullish lately, but really the market is not responding in a bullish way, right? So if you want to know what's happening in the news in the last little while, generate a briefing. This might take a little longer because it scrapes to their sources, which is a few, searching for macro market news, let it do its thing. And as it generates, it will come up with an entire summary of different facts that we should be aware of. Grounded by real-time Google search to access live feed for market intelligence. So it synthesizes news, social media trends, and inferred on-chain data to provide a comprehensive view of market sentiment. And like I mentioned, price action is one thing. Price action is actionable. Market sentiment's hard to trade, but it definitely lays out the framework of the lower level data that you get from market structure, because sentiment is emotional. Sentiment is basically driven by the psychology of the market. And if the psychology of the market is giving you some sort of idea, you can expect that that idea is going to permeate throughout the market structure eventually, right? Sometimes there's a lag behind it, and there's manipulation and all of that. But at least you get your little edge here by being able to synthesize all kinds of different news and sentiment and coming up with a bullish and bearish thesis. You can see bullish drivers, bearish drivers, what drivers are out there, what influential aspects that we have in the news and in the media that are basically going to support the bullish and support the bearish all year. All year. Conditional institutional adoption on 100 billion via spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. This is all over X and so on. Ethereum's successful Pectra upgrade. This was been a while back, so it is what it is. Anticipate future Federal Reserve rate cuts, expected to favor risk assets. This is something that, again, we've been talking about over and over and over. So this is good if you want your summaries. This is where you at. And the sources, beautiful. Mexi.com. You get all of them. Cryptomist, Luno, Pintu. These are all very common. Intelligize, Reddit.com. That's a big one. Gate, another exchange that a lot of exchanges do have, news outlets and all that. And you can save to your history, regenerate a briefing. You can get AI involved, ask AI different questions and so on. But this is great stuff here. And again, within this tab, which is the sentiment and news tab, we got other tabs: asset analysis, guys, like, I'm not going to go through all of it, but you get what I mean. You got inferred on-chain intelligence feed, X platform. I'm curious about this one. Let's do it. So generate a real-time feed post from x.com for Bitcoin. An AI searches for influential accounts and community discussions, analyzes each post for sentiment, and presents a consolidated intelligence briefing. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see what KUZINO has for us here today, and we'll post it right on socials. Guys, this video is going long. I apologize, but you know what? When we have fun, time flies. I'm definitely loving this because, look, at the end of the day, we're using AI as a tool for our daily life to make, tasks a little simpler. Less tasks, less tasking. Let's put it that way. So that's what we're looking for. No significant posts were found on Bitcoin in the last 30 days. Unfortunate. Okay, it's okay. But the idea is this. The idea is that it should generate some sort of a briefing regarding Bitcoin. This is probably in the works. Like I mentioned, I'm just going to mention again for the third time, is that this tool is still in the works. This tool is still in beta, and the team KUZO is still cooking it up. Okay, so if you want to be a part of the process, again, provide feedback, join the community. I'm sure KUZINO is willing and interested in getting all kinds of different feedback, because feedback is key. So pretty good stuff. Inquiry history, so your history of different inquiries that you may have gotten, inquired about here on the platform. So good stuff here, and it's all archived for future reference. Cool stuff, guys. I like this. right? Particularly being able to synthesize all different types of news sources, including X sentiment, and put it into a nice little package there. Risk matrix, risk to reward, all of this. What is the risk factors across the space? So again, I'm going to kind of just go through this really quickly. Key risk indicators, you're looking at volatility, value at risk, and so many different things. The drawdown, max drawdown in the last little while, it's only been 8%. It's not that big because we're in consolidation. So it is what it is. Expected shortfall and so on. So that's cool to have a little bit of data there. And volatility risk, I think this is still being worked on at the current moment. I feel like it is. But it is, like I mentioned, a lot of this, including this, the next tab, including the backtesting lab. The backtesting lab right now is what has been focusing on, what the team is focusing on right now to getting this very active. I think this is very useful, given the fact that you can put in your strategy, your different details of what type of trader you're going to be or you are, and then you come down, okay, and you basically save your strategy and you can load old ones if that's the case what you got. But most importantly, the backtesting configuration. I'm not going to go through it because they're working on it right now. This is what they're cooking it up right now. This is what's on the menu. But the reality is that eventually you will be able to put in a start and end time and date, and your symbol, your pair, time frame, and your commission and your slippage, your take profit, and so on, and your stop loss, and run back tests. And of course, they're going to make this a lot more detailed and being able to customize different functionalities and strategies, because a lot of us do have complex strategies. But this is actually a tool that we could use. The data is so important, guys. Data is so important. It's one of the hardest things to really synthesize. And if we can get AI up in there to help us process all the data that we collect as traders, it will definitely give us an edge on what we are doing, right? What we did and what we are doing and what we should do to improve what we do going forward, right? Data should help you make better decisions going forward instead of repeating the same things without knowing why or what is happening. The data, historical data, and being able to backtest allows us to figure out what has been done and how it's affecting us going forward. Okay, so this is a feature that I'm looking forward to, guys. Expect an update on some of these as they get updated. I'm really enjoying this so far. Community Hub, right? So you got a lot of different things here. You can earn XP by coming on here and posting, and there's a different leaderboard. As you can see, Kuzo, he's the lead dev here on KUZINO, and you got different others that are here doing their thing, because how to earn XP and climb the ladder, you by posting, creating a topic. All this is free, guys. Just because there's a ladder board doesn't mean that it involves any type of money or anything like that. Forum rules and guidelines, but you can do market talk and do different, yeah, you can come here and post different things and yap about crypto and different projects and technical analysis and all this kind of stuff. So pretty good. Like, I think I posted here, look, this is my little post here 3 days ago, trying to figure out and trying to test on how it works. Guys, this is a great thing to get community involvement and all that kind of stuff. So a source of information, no doubt. So pretty cool. And being able to report bugs and feature requests and UI, user interface experience requests and modifications. Join, feel free to check that out. And Operator Hub, this is your overall journal. For those of you that journal while trading, I suggest all new traders to start up a journal. This is a great way to kind of keep your journal digital, in a cloud-based system, and have it in a one-stop shop dashboard with all your AI tools plus your journal in one spot and different entries analyzed with AI. You can even analyze your own journal with AI, guys. Like, this is next level. Like, you're putting in your entries, your exits, your entry in your exits, or your different ideas or what you got going on, and this thing will literally scrape through it all and synthesize that data, that information, those journal entries, and come up with something that will potentially give you some insight. Again, for using historical data to improve future results. That's basically what this is going to try to do here. Amazing. So you got your history, your saved strategies, and your AI interactions log. Guys, this looks like a tool that should be worth a lot of money, but right now it's literally free. So check it out. Data X, where you can export all your data. Your data is yours. That's very important, guys, for those of you that are data driven and understand the value of data. You can export raw, and you can generate reports and so on. So this is all good. And a little bit of a guide for AI. How does it work? And this and that. You can ask the AI different questions, and so on and so forth. And then your different alerts if you want system alerts and so on. This also has those abilities. So a lot of good stuff here on KUZINO, and kudos to not only um, you know not only SHIDO for having such a great L1 that allows projects like this to flourish, but the development team, obviously, Kuzo doing a lot of work here, and bringing in a place where people can come in and get involved and use this tool to improve their trading techniques going forward. So, guys, give it a check. I'm gonna put a link in the description. I'm gonna put a link to the SHIDO website in the description as well. Join their community, ask questions, get involved, see what these small projects are cooking up and building in the trenches, because at the end of the day, the all stars are minted in the trenches. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join that Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.